If you're anything like me, you've seen a lot of content lately on your Explore page regarding boredom and exactly what to do with your boredom. And as interesting as those videos are, how do we relate such a topic to things that are actually important to us in our personal lives? Things that are actually important, like lifting weights. We often think about our training in the vacuum of these really intense, heavy sets, big lifts, lots of adrenaline, all intensity all the time. But if you've been training for long enough, you know that a lot of it is spent around recovery, and most of your time is spent outside of the gym. So how exactly do we manage our thoughts outside of training? If you're anything like me, you spend your time doom scrolling YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, follow me on Instagram. Or maybe you put your time and energy into some more productive endeavors. Reading, spending time in nature, with family, or with your pets. Regardless of how you go about it, this time needs to be filled productively. But does it really though? I think we often get caught up in the idea if we want to have these incredible performances, we have to be a slave to our work. Every single thought, action, moment of our day needs to revolve around improving at the thing we want to improve at. In this instance, weight training. But you shouldn't be a slave to your own passion. And that's where it all comes back to boredom. If you take away anything from this video, it's that boredom is not a crime. We all know that recovery is an important part of improving in our training, but there's an underrated aspect of recovery. Having periods of time where you're not doing anything physically with your body is, I think, pretty well understood to be important. I don't think people have that same understanding when it comes to not doing anything mentally. You need to have moments in your day and in your life in general where you're keeping your body in the lowest state of arousal that it can possibly be in. If anybody's ever completed a hard week of midterms or finals or had a stressful shift at work or a stressful season at a job that you work at, you understand that the mental aspect of recovery is incredibly important. I think in this internet age, we're constantly surrounded by these social media influencers. And because we're constantly surrounded by that media, we feel the need to always be doing something. We might feel good about where we're at in training, but then we go online and we see all these influencers just constantly surrounding us in the media sphere, and we feel like we're not doing enough. We're constantly overstimulated by our immediate access to the internet, and realistically, everybody under the age of 30 is an iPad baby. All right, instead of being completely negative, let me give what I think is an actual solution to this problem. Get off your phone, please. Obviously, that's a bit of an oversimplification, but let me dive into what I mean a little bit more. Focusing in on the work that we need to get done in training can be incredibly difficult when it's not nearly as stimulating to us as the media we're consuming. Your own training at your local 24-hour fitness might not seem nearly as interesting when you compare it to the fast-paced, edited, trap music backgrounded workouts that you see these social media influencers doing. All of this to essentially get back to the main point in saying, put the phone down. I'll level with you in saying that, yeah, again, my training and your training might not be nearly as interesting as some of the influencers and athletes that we see on the internet, but ultimately, comparison is a thief of joy. Actively removing yourself from these sources of media, taking time to center yourself on your own training, that is the ultimate way to fully capitalize on the joy that you can get from your own journey. Essentially, what I'm calling for is a dopamine detox. First, you remove the overstimulation from the overconsumption, and then as a result, you start to get more satisfaction from your own training because you're not relying on the overstimulus from the internet as a source of your dopamine. That's all I have for today. I hope you took something from this video that you might be able to apply to your own training. I know I'm still learning and I'm trying to apply some of these ideas to my own, but that's all I have. Like the video if you liked it. If you disliked it, there are other ones that you can dislike, so feel free to check those out. But have a nice day. Goodbye.